message for today.
Hello. You serious?
Hello.
You serious?
I'm wearing my it's not the black Superman, it's dark blue.
Yeah, and that
my Zack Snyder.
amazingly revealing clip from Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, it was a cool clip. All 4 seconds of it.
This is
13, actually.
This is how I feel.
Yeah.
This is how I feel the whole week of watching
Comic-Con.
panels on Comic-Con.
Yeah, yeah. That's really good, Jude. It's true. Talk about overhyped and underdelivered. This Comic-Con landed with a thud, and I see Jason. Hello.
Oh, Stu, I have the article open. I didn't even know I had it open. There it is.
Yeah. So,
whoops.
Why don't you kick off with this, Jude?
What's that?
Kick it off. Go for it.
Well, I didn't even get a chance to really go through this article. I kind of just skimmed through it. But IndieWire released a article today, 3 hours ago, for San Diego Comic-Con virtual event leaves fans with mixed feelings. And mixed is an understatement, right?
That's putting icing on a shit cake.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much
a big old.
The article pretty much goes through saying that, a lot of people who were actually tuning in felt that it just was extremely uneventful, that they felt left out probably, and that the experience just didn't feel like you were there at Comic-Con. It felt like you were eavesdropping on people's Zoom meetings, which if you have no involvement in being there and asking questions and interacting with the people on the panel, then who...
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It's everything was pre-recorded and edited.
It's part about going to a con is interacting with the creators, and people I think felt left out.
Yeah, that was part of it. I think some of the topics they chose for these panels were a little activisty instead of entertainment. Yeah, it was a letdown. I sat through one entire panel, and that was the Inglorious Trexperts panel that they did with about the best of both.
Who follow us now?
Who follow us on Instagram now? I wonder how that happened
because we follow them. But yeah,
they like my photo today too.
Which one?
I posted up reading for the summer. I'm going to read the Stephen King book, which I have in the other room.
Okay.
Yeah, I did some.
With the kitty cat on the front cover.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really good, and it's supposed to be a mix of like 3 or 4 stories in one book, similar to like the 4 Seasons. So I'm kind of interested in getting it done for the summer. In fact, let me go grab it.
I'm like the world's slowest reader because I get sleepy when I read. That's why comics are perfect. 20 minutes done.
Yeah. Bite-sized enjoyment, and then.
Exactly. I just get sleepy. It's weird.
And I'm more than I'll share this book around like a.
What book is it? What's the name?
If it bleeds.
If it bleeds.
It's got good reviews. It's gotten like 4.5 out of 5 stars. So, cool. And this is the first book I've bought. Besides a comic book, this is the first book I think I've bought in about like 2 years, which is really sad.
Not bad.
Well, I mean, comics I don't consider, I guess you call them books, but
they're literature, Jude. Don't be like that.
They are literature.
But by saying that, you are mocking my intellectual ability to read a book.
Well. You're going down a dark path here, dude.
There is someone who is semi-published in this foursome.
Who? Pete's published.
Are you published, Pete?
Yeah, I got my Bird Brain comic from a few years ago got published. Volume 1 got published. Yeah.
My brother is My brother is a self-published.
No, self-published. Yeah,
that's fine.
Big difference.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. That's exactly what I did here too. Yeah, birdbrainthecomicstrip.com.
He has 2 books on Amazon. And if you're interested in reading them, if he cares to share his books with us,
I'm actually the thing about self-publishing is that whenever you look back on your work and you say, you know what, I want to rewrite that, you can. You just pull it from Amazon, you rewrite it, you put it back up.
Exactly.
Yeah. When you're published, though, it's set in stone. It's like, oh boy, this is going down in history.
Getting that staple. You need the staple, right?
So we might be able to do a book review on a book if you care to share the link with us later on, brother.
Yeah, or put it in the chat, or
put the link to your book in the comments
if he wants. I'm not going to push it,
no.
but I will say
I'm actually rewriting it.
Oh, okay. So which one?
I'm rewriting the second one. And actually, I was just doing that before before I logged in. So
nice.
Rewriting and re-editing it. So when I finish it, I hope to be done with it by the end of the year. I'll resolicit it. Definitely.
What about the first one?
First one I have on the bookshelf here.
Why don't you put the link? Why don't we get the link and put it in the?
John Saxon died.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A bunch of Amazon copies.
There you go.
Who died?
John Saxon.
Oh yeah, Nightmare
Enter the Dragon, Nightmare on Elm Street, Battle Beyond the Stars.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Character actor from everything 80s.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Let's
see. Losing a lot of great creators.
He had pneumonia.
So I just saw that movie too. That's Enter the Dragon, right? Yeah, Enter the Dragon.
Yeah,
that's a great movie.
Yeah.
I gotta say, the most enjoyable panel that I watched was the Denny O'Neil tribute yesterday.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, Fingeroth was there. A lot of people were commenting about how much Denny O'Neil meant to them, how much he inspired them. A lot of love for that man, and most deservedly so.
I got to know him 4 years ago. He was a joy to talk to.
I almost gave him fleas.
Jude almost gave him fleas. Yeah,
sorry, Jude. What's that story?
When I got Max, my friend kept contacting me saying, my cat had a litter. My cat had a litter. I can't get rid of all the cats. My dad wants me to get rid of these cats. Yada yada yada. So I finally caved in and said, "All right, Azur, I'll take one of the cats," and that's how I got Max. Which, if he comes around, I'll show you him. He's about 15 pounds now. And I ended up going there, and I picked him out of a box full of 3 other cats and brought him home. And about a week later, my whole entire house was infested with fleas, and I was so bad that I actually had to sleep at a friend's house, call in a bug person, and they had to bug bomb my whole entire house. And I couldn't go in for 3 or 4 days. I had to wait for everything to settle down. And that whole time, during that time period, we had an interview with Denny O'Neil. And I was staying at a friend's house, but I was still coming in to get my clothes and stuff. Okay, this is before the bug guy. And we get to his house, and I was telling Keith all this shit that was happening to me. And Keith's like, dude, Denny is sitting 15 feet away, farting around on his iMac, and we're setting up lights, and dude's just blurting out, "Yeah, so the fleas are probably all over these equipment bags," and I'm like, dude, because I had to stop in the house.
Do that.
Yeah, I had to stop in the house to get my equipment, because it was all in the basement. And the bug guy didn't show up until a week later, so I was literally the infestation at that point over a week before the bug guy got here was probably terrible. And what I did was I took trash bags, like medium-sized trash bags, and I duct taped them around my legs. So when I walked into the house, they couldn't get on me. But it's so funny. You can hear the fleas jumping on me, trying to get on me. You hear the trash bag.
Oh God!
Did Denny have pets?
I don't think
no. He had Jude for a day. Yeah.
So the whole time we're set.
Try dealing
the whole time we're setting up for this interview, I'm putting the lights up, putting the microphone up. Keith's putting the camera together, and I'm telling him how horrible this whole experience has been. And Keith is just looking at me like, "Shut the fuck up."
Well, it was when you said they're probably all over these bags. I'm like,
because I was sleeping at some girl's house who I wasn't even dating, and it was just awkward. I was just like, "Go, dude, I got to tell you about this experience."
And
you're gonna give a comics legend fleas.
Yeah, that was yeah. I'm sure Denny O'Neil is one of the Mount Rushmores to you too. And
yeah, he is.
I just,
he is.
it was. I was so looking forward to that whole day at his house, and oh my god,
yeah,
it was.
I was really envious of you guys for that. I was like, wow, I wish I could be there talking to him. I have so many questions that I wanted to ask him.
Well,
the creative process.
He was just the coolest guy. He was gabbing away with us for so long. His wife started banging pots and pans around upstairs to shut him up, so we would leave.
Yeah.
Well,
really funny.
I heard.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I heard once you engaged him in things like politics, the creative process, how the creative process interwove with with storytelling. I mean, he was just a fountain of information. He was.
The first question.
Yeah,
he was the first question. She just said, "Let's get started with a softball. How'd you get interested in writing for comics?" 40 minutes later.
Yeah.
And the only reason he stopped at 40 minutes on that first question is because I didn't bring enough recording media. I didn't expect that. I'm like, this is the first question. And I was texting Jackie from behind the camera, so onto her lap, like, shut him up, shut him down, shut him down. We're gonna run out of media. And he actually saw her phone lighting up, and he saw me doing it, and he caught on. He goes,
yeah.
He goes, all right, I'll stop there. I bet you didn't expect that.
And he was you could tell he was a huge activist, and he played that into his comic book stories,
Like, he's an original hit.
He did.
Yeah. I mean, he was probably the one against the Vietnam War, and he was out there with the peace. Yeah. He had the peace button. When we interviewed him, he actually had the peace button on his he wore, I forgot what he wore, but he was totally like,
he had like his normal Denny uniform, the black
like a vest or something, or
over the t-shirt. Yep.
Yeah.
But Mary Fran was great. They were so generous, so nice. He did everything we asked and then some, and we just hung around with him for the rest of the day as he had just gotten a treadmill delivered that day.
Yeah.
Because he was on this exercise kick, and he was lecturing to us how important it is to exercise. Yeah. And outside he had a trampoline out on his little porch. So he took us out to the trampoline. And
in fact, I think behind all the cameras and lights and stuff, he had his little the little blow up ball, those exercise balls. He had the treadmill back there. He had all the
yoga mat.
Right. We interviewed him right in his basement. We went right downstairs in his basement.
Yeah.
And he had a really nice collection and I think it was like his own personal collection, but he had all the comics that he wrote, but they were perfectly in these books, but they weren't for sale. Remember, Keith, on the bookshelf?
Found them?
Yeah, he had them bound. Yeah.
He had them bound. And I don't know if they gave it to him or he bound them himself. But they are beautiful. And I took a picture of them, and I just remember thinking, wow, these things are like priceless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was kind of funny though, because he went down and he played the like I've never done this before routine, and he was kind of like, well, I was thinking maybe we could set up over here with the books. And if you look on YouTube at all the different interviews people have done over the years with Denny for documentaries, he's in the same spot. He's in the exact same spot. With the stacks of books.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Do we have
stacks of books?
Kate, do we have those pictures of us and Denny? I thought they were somewhere on the website.
Yeah, give me a minute. I can pull them up.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
What's this we're looking at over here?
Yeah, I was wondering if you're pulling them up.
It's the YouTube channel for the con, since we were talking about the sadness that it turned out to be.
Well, here, before we do that, I know I'm totally plugging my brother here, but can I share my screen?
Yeah, you guys talk while I dig up these photos.
Well, I'm going to plug my brother here.
That's what I'm saying. Here, I'm going to mute myself while I dig up these photos. How's that?
Hold on. Brother, I think it's very important that... what the hell? There we go. That we do introduce
Pete's
that you wrote.
Plugging his book, so go to Pete's too.
Yeah, where's Pete?
Oh yeah, the monkey.
Why don't you tell us about your brother? Why don't you tell us why don't you tell us about your book, brother?
So I wrote this, back in 2008 now. It's been a long time. It's a science fiction book about a guy who was able to sample time like he would sample music. He's able to sample bits of time and then play them back into the future to create alternate realities. And then he can enter it within any alternate reality that he samples. So he goes on an adventure. Of course, there's an evil government organization out to try to steal these powers from him. It's actually an implant, a cybernetic implant. They're trying to steal it from him. I mean, it's, it was my first work. I look back on it and say, it was an action adventure kind of yarn. I wanted it to be more intellectual, more Star Trek-y. It turned out to be more Star Wars-y, a lot more action than I wanted in it. But
sure,
yeah, it was what it was. I think I sold a handful of copies.
Well, you do have a rating. You do have a rating here.
Yeah, because it was from my aunt.
This sci-fi book was very entertaining. Good character development and real twist at the end. The dialogue moved the plot along quickly, and now I find it was a page turner.
Yeah, and now I read back on it. I go, oh, that's terrible. Oh God, what was I thinking?
Well, you can always change the original PDF and make it pull a George Lucas on it.
The 2020 revised edition, right?
Yeah, you could do the Brenback cut as opposed to the Schneider cut.
Yeah. So, but you know what? I think it's important to get work like that out, just to get the gears turning, to get the blood pumping, and prepare you for better writing. It's always important to get that first work out, even if it isn't up to your standards.
Hey, listen, I could never write a book. I mean, dialogue to me seems like the hardest thing to write. I've tried writing scripts before, and all my script writing back in the day was just visuals because I could not figure out how to do dialogue very well. It is the hardest part, I think, of writing a script, a movie script, and writing a book. Dialogue is extremely important.
You want to know a secret for dialogue? When you're writing it, always recite it verbally. Always say it out loud. And if it sounds unnatural to you, scrap it and start over. Because dialogue has to sound natural to the ear. It's an auditory thing.
Right. The thing I always had a hard time doing is creating characters where I couldn't put myself in that character's head, but I wanted to. And being able to write like a villain, a good villain, and trying to think like a good villain or a person that I can never be, but how do you actually write a character like that? You know what I mean?
I'll tell you how. Sense? Hold on a second.
Let's see.
I'm trying to copy Pete's link, but it won't. I can't.
Go ahead and plugging Denny again. This book taught me immensely. Right here. In a DC Comics guide for writing comics. This is what I learned a lot from. Now, it's not only just for writing comics. You can get a lot about storytelling, a lot of information about storytelling, about a conflict from this book, about character development. So, Denny definitely, and it's very concise too. It's not a very large book. You could read it in one afternoon. You'll become a much more talented, efficient writer after reading that, I believe.
Yeah, I bought that for my buddy Paul, and just recently, Paul Kupperberg has a similar book out now, How to Write Comic Books.
Yeah, I have Alan Moore's.
And I have Paul, but Paul's is way in the other room, so I'll go get it later. But
I've got Alan Moore's version of the same subject matter.
Really?
Oh, that's right. I forgot Alan Moore did one too. Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool.
Oh.
Never too much advice on that subject.
Yeah.
There we go.
I tried to click.
I got Pete's
book. I think it kept displaying it. I think it just kept displaying it on our screen instead of.
Yeah. I couldn't copy it. Yeah.
No.
So he put it in the private chat so I can grab it. So there it is.
Pete, did you illustrate it too? Was it both written and
illustrated? Oh yeah. It's all drawn, illustrated, and written by me. Birdbrain was a character I had when I was a little kid, and basically this is the first 100 strips. I've got nearly 100 more. I keep putting it off to. I like that the expression on his face there on the front cover. It just looks like he suddenly realizes he's being watched.
That's awesome.
But yeah, check it out. It's not very expensive. It even comes as a as a comic book on you can buy it on Kindle, or you can buy it on Comixology.
You used to run the strip on Instagram. I remember I used to.
I ran it on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, and it's at birdbrainthecomicstrip.com if you wanted to read it for free. I mean, please don't.
I want to hide that URL.
So while these two are working on their projects, Keith and I have been working on a really big one, including somebody who's not here, Jackie, and we're currently going through the process, if you want to call it that. So hopefully you'll from the day. Hopefully you'll see something published by Keith, Jackie, and I by a couple years.
He looks thrilled.
There I am.
He looks thrilled.
He had a great and then there's
I think
Jackie.
I think he just felt like it was a long interview, and his wife was making dinner upstairs, and was like, that was afterwards. There you go.
Yeah, this was when we were on our way out the door.
Yeah,
after we packed up the gear and whatnot. So
yeah,
I gotta print these. Yeah, I wore my Batman shirt for him.
It was hot that day too. I remember.
You gotta print these up and put them in your office, Keith.
Yeah, it was in August. It was pretty hot and muggy, and so there it is, Jason. You can see his
bookcase, the
famous bookcase behind him. Yeah,
he was a great guy.
He was so immensely influential to me and to many people.
He's a pensive man, as you can see by this photo.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the picture you took.
Oh yeah, here's the picture.
There it is.
He had all the things he did, all bound in these beautiful black books, or bluish black.
Leather bound, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. What's this one? You took a lot of photos of his stuff.
These are awards he won.
Yeah.
Looks like the Wizard magazine. Another. He had a lot of them up there.
Yeah, he had a ton of these leather bound books,
and I loved them because I was like, those are probably one of a kind. They're probably not.
They are one of a kind. They're all personally bound.
Yeah. And then I kind of took pictures of stuff he was reading.
Oh yeah, Frank Miller's Daredevil.
He really loves the genre. You know, he loved telling stories. You know, he was fun. He was a great guy. It's actually funny. We got there. He was very apologetic because he had it on his vest. No, he banged his head on a cabinet door that morning and cut his head open. And it was too tender to even put makeup on. So I'm thinking, when we get into the post-production, we're going to have to mask and roto the cut out of his head.
So any good roto artists in the audience, please feel free to send your resume to pizzapopculture at gmail.com, because that's going to be a lot of work.
Yeah. But, it's the whole thing so far. I mean, you look at the names we got here, all these shoots, Bob Layton, Frank McLaughlin, Joe Sinnott, Joe Staten, John Byrne. We were actually talking about this the other day. We were talking about the toys.
Oh, John Byrne. You
got to see the toy.
There's a lot of photos there. I think I took like over 200.
I took a lot too.
He had his whole basement was like a art museum, like not even an art museum, like a Marvel.
This is one small section of one shelf, wraps all the way around, and they're 6 deep. Every single one.
And he had original art in the back hanging on the walls, tons of original art.
Yeah, like this. He has these model airplanes hanging from his drop ceiling.
He has one of the original panels to a Superman comic that he read when he was a kid, and he acquired one of the panels to that comic, and he was telling me about the whole story of it, and he was like so ecstatic that he got an actual panel from it, an actual page. Yeah, that's in
a
his living room.
life-size Gort stands in his living room. Like when you walk in his foyer, it's in a little alcove there. Yeah, look at your photos, dude. You took more than that.
Oh, I took shitload.
Oh, his house is crazy.
He actually sits in a bomber chair, like that was in an actual aircraft of a B-52.
Right.
I don't know if you have a picture of that. And it's got all the seat belts and all the stuff hanging off of it.
I don't know if it'll be easy to see.
Oh no, it's the back of Jackie's head. I thought that was a chair.
Yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
I'm so sorry, Jackie.
He had all these models hanging in the ceiling, and as I was bringing equipment, I was hitting him, and he was getting
really nervous. He was getting nervous. Here's some with the lights turned on. So, yeah.
Oh wait, no, we must have put him in another chair. He actually has.
Yeah, we did because he was doing this job. He was kind of turning in it and stuff.
Right. Oh, the chair is crazy looking. It looks like a gunner chair in like a B-52.
Yeah, let's see. There's
the shield was great. The shield shots.
These.
Yeah,
we did these. We overcranked the camera, so these are all in slow motion. He like reveals himself from behind the shield. He had a great time. We had a ball with John.
What's that thing right there?
We went out to lunch afterwards.
Yeah, what's that thing?
That thing? Yeah.
That's a big ugly thing.
Yeah, it's a huge ugly thing.
Yeah. He had a lot of toys and a lot of sculptures.
Yeah.
Look how many panels and pages he has back there of original.
And the toys, they wrap all the way around the basement. And he has just as many upstairs. I mean, it's just, yeah. It was.
What else? Yeah, there's got to be more in there
There's tons. I mean, we could go through these photos all day, but.
I mean, he had little knickknacks. He had all kinds of stuff down there.
It was awesome. It was. Here's a good shot. Look behind Aaron. Just this one wall behind him.
Aaron was our sound guy that day.
So look at. I'm glad we had 5 of us too.
Look at the book. Look at the bookshelves. Not if you can call them shelves.
Yeah, the books underneath. Let me see if this one's clearer. Yeah, this one's a little clearer. So you can look at the toys.
That's just one wall.
That's one shelf. Yeah, it goes all the way around. It goes all the way around his house.
So up in the corner there was the his first comic book he bought, a Superman comic up in the corner there. Yep, and he actually
that looks like Batman.
Maybe it was the one next to it, the smaller one. I don't remember, but he was showing me he was so psyched that he actually got a page from the comic he read when he was a kid.
Yeah, he's just as big a fan as he is a professional. He's got doing his William Shatner.
I wish we had a photo of that chair. That chair was so unique.
Yeah. Well, here he's showing Jackie. Is this it?
No, this is.
This is a question. Stuff. This is a question thing.
He had original Ditko stuff.
That's right.
Nice.
Yeah, here is it.
Yeah, I mean, this stuff is. Look at not the bubbles were just written in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who has that stuff? That stuff is. How do you acquire that stuff? Only a person that could be in the industry.
Right.
No way.
Money. Yeah. That looks great, man. Look at that. So, yeah, that was quite the day, too. How long were we there? We were 12 hours?
Yeah, and then afterwards, he invited us out to lunch.
Yeah, we went out to eat, and we were there till well after dark. So
we went to a deli, and we sat there, and we ate and probably talked for another couple hours.
George Wildman, Joe Sinnott, Cuppy, Nick Cuddy. God, it was so hot down there in Florida. Remember that?
Bob Layton's house?
Roy Thomas.
His condo?
No, Nick Cuddy's.
Oh, Nick Cuddy's.
Bob's was comfortable. Bob's was air conditioned.
Yeah,
Nick's was awful.
Nick lived in a little house.
Bob's is funny, too, because...
There he is. Oh, that's a nice picture of me. I didn't see those.
We had to sit on the floor. There was no room in there, remember?
Yeah.
It was really tight, and you could see from these photos, like he's got this big TV and all these shelves and his drawing board and his desk. It was just, there was nowhere to shoot. But you want to shoot them in their natural habitat, Here's a better shot where you can see how tight it was. The camera's right over Jackie's shoulder. It was crazy.
He was a funny guy.
Yeah, he was. There he
We
is.
had some great
Tony
shots. of-
Stark himself. There he
Yep.
is.
Nice.
I think we have him actually.
We've got our
wait.
promotional postcard in the thing.
Oh yeah.
See that?
Didn't he jump off that chair or something? He did
Yes.
something.
We had him jump off the top of the with the sunglasses, and he's holding up the comics. Remember?
Mm.
Yeah.
Like Tony Stark.
Yeah. Totally.
We're doing the Iron Man.
Yeah. Bob's fun. He's a
Yeah.
he's a riot. Not much of a filter on that guy. Pete came on this shoot. Went to the
Oh yeah. I remember
Didn't
that
go
one.
on that.
secret stash.
I couldn't make that one.
The weather that day was so weird. It started out in the morning. It was an ice storm. And by the time we left to get lunch, it was like 60 degrees out. It was so weird. There we are.
That was the boom. I operated the boom. Not without incident, unfortunately.
Yeah, where's that picture? We staged this
The
picture.
last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I accidentally clocked him in the face.
Look at you. You had a COVID haircut before COVID.
Yeah.
Rocking the vid.
That was fun. Mike's a great guy.
Smash Mike Zapstick.
Yeah,
that.
Yep.
Well, we faked it. That was a fake shot.
Did you meet them all, or
okay.
was it just him?
No, Walter and Ming were there. Walter was a douche. He was oops, did I say that? He was
It's
purposely
archived.
he was sitting on his phone like 10 feet away making noise intentionally. It was really irritating. This one, Jackie and I had to go do ourselves.
Yeah, I couldn't make that.
We did this at Terrificon up in the ballroom, the green room there.
Look at those velvet chairs.
I know. It was really tough to make this work because there was nothing, to make it look nice. But I think we did all right. That's what it looked like.
It actually looks like a movie theater, just with the seats.
Yeah.
The carpet. I always wanted movie theater carpet in my house. I don't know why. Or arcade carpet. Those weird.
Right. Oh, here's one Jude will never forget. Will Franz.
Oh God.
Remember this?
So the weird story about this is that we did this while he was working. So behind us was a cubicle, like a huge room with dozens and dozens and dozens of cubicles with people at them on doing something. I don't know what they were doing.
It looked like one of those
telemarketing center.
like a call center. Hey, Mr. Gomes.
Hello.
Welcome. We have a new topping in the pizza today.
Edison.
Yeah, I might not last too long. There's a lot of commotion going on in my house. So.
Yeah, same.
Can you spin a little bit? You got the light behind you.
Oh, I.
Yeah, you're
I
back.
can't even see.
Just so
It's
we
like
can.
it's like I'm in shadow.
Yeah. So we were in this
The witness protection program.
It does look like that, doesn't it? All right, let me see.
All you gotta do is mute your voice like this.
This was brutal. So
I stole a comic once.
this room was like puke green, and it doesn't show here. It looks kind of beigey actually, but Jude and I were fighting the light the whole time. A storm rolled in, and they're doing construction across the street, and it was just, man, it was a mess. So anyway, we can go on and on about this, but we're not here to talk about the Charlton movie. We're here to
but
Comic-Con.
it's great to
We're here to talk about Comic-Con, and there's not much to talk about Comic-Con.
Right.
Even the fans are
complaining
upset about Comic-Con, and we aren't crazy about Comic-Con, and all of our 15 viewers are here probably don't have the probably have the same opinion about Comic-Con.
I think we're more interesting than the whole week of Comic-Con. Just saying.
Yeah, right, exactly. So how about this one? Let's just go right to this one.
Hold on.
Did everybody watch this?
I get a beer.
Did everybody watch this?
Yes. Yeah, all 4 seconds of it. It was still entertaining.
I think it was like 13, but yeah. It's interesting because they're going to actually show a teaser trailer at the DC fandom event next month. All
right.
This thing, and it looks like it looks like a lot of these studios or whatnot or companies are going to do their own kind of little Comic-Con at home thing. Alan, Shitty Beef is here.
Hey.
Hang on a second. Let me just mute myself. Talk amongst yourselves. I will be 1 second.
Well, it doesn't surprise me that the studios and different entertainment centers are having their own Comic-Con at home type of thing, because, well, it's probably dirt cheap to do.
And they could just do as good enough job as they're doing with the other Comic-Con, with the real Comic-Con.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they don't have to pay all the fees and go through all the headaches and hoops to, when they can do it themselves. Kind of like how things are being streamed. Why go through Netflix if you can show it yourself?
I mean, have any of you gotten a chance to see any of the panels today or earlier?
We tried watching the panels, but they were kind of lackluster.
Yep.
We watched Inglorious Trexperts, who now follow us. Thank you very much on Instagram. Watched that. Watched the Star Trek panel. Parts of it, anyway. The rest of it was just not our bag.
There was a Doctor Who panel today. And
there was.
Yep. And I was coming from like someone who knows next to nothing about Doctor Who, so I just thought I'd just see if it was. It was basically a bunch of people. Looked like just fans, or maybe some well-known fans that went around rating each of the. They went from 1 to 13. Is it now? Yep. Rating each of the doctors and figuring out who was the overall best one. And as I figured, it would be Tennant because that's the one I always hear about. But
between Tom Baker and David Tennant.
It was interesting. I mean, they talked about some kind of recent episode called "Timeless Children." Maybe you can shed some light.
The Timeless Children
where they showed like the origin of him, and they talked about how there was like child abuse in there somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, there's child abuse. There's a whole bunch of retconning that the fandom is not happy about.
Yeah, none of them were happy.
Yeah, it's not happy about it. Basically, it ignores over 50 years worth of history and just right out the window.
That's what they said.
Yeah, so it's the latest batches of Doctor Who are not landing pretty well with the fandom. The ratings have just completely tanked, and I guess the BBC is happy with the content creatively, but not happy about the rating. So something's got to give. They either got to dump the showrunner Chris Chibnall, or they got to get him to stop doing the identity politics and actually do something that the general audiences really want to watch. HBO Max has the streaming rights to it, and I guess they're putting up a lot of money for the next couple of seasons. Maybe they'll have something to say, because AT&T is very very concerned about what fans think of different properties, clearly. So
yeah, be interesting to see how that goes forward.
Yeah. Looks like Shitty Chicken and Shitty Beef are discussing hard drives at the moment.
Why is Alan there? Why isn't Alan on the show?
He's dropping off a hard drive. Let's find out.
Is that Alan's huge collection of pornography that I just gave you?
Yes, it's a huge collection of pornography.
Couldn't you wait? You could have been on the show right now. Couldn't you wait?
I guess not. He's had a busy day. All right.
Yes.
So where were we?
Yep.
This
I
thing?
mentioned how it's probably easier for studios and different creators to do their own cons at home, because then they don't have to go through Comic-Con. They don't have to go. They can keep all the ad revenue for themselves.
And all the big announcements. That's why we didn't hear shit. So that's that. What else do we have? If we wind this thing down,
I guess you watched the pitiful Robotech panel, or no? Oh, you didn't.
I did not.
Didn't miss much at all.
I forgot about it. I always forget.
I know you told me about it though. So Basically, they spent it was like a total of 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And the first 20 of them were just going through all the new toys and models and die-casts that they had available to buy. And they had a very short update on the fact that they're not putting any new comics out until next year. And there wasn't even any kind of like movie progress at all.
That movie is
Nothing.
not ever going to happen. I'm pretty sure. I saw this today on Bleeding Fool. Marvel Studios has big plans for Marvel's Illuminati.
Oh, I heard
This
about
new
this.
Avengers
Lucy?
thing.
Explain.
Lucy, you got some splaining to do. Yeah, I guess they just want to do some kind of knockoff for Disney Plus of this new Avengers thing.
Interesting. But isn't
that would,
Charles Xavier part of that?
Yes.
yeah. So is Iron Man. So does that
Yeah.
mean you're going to pay Robert Downey Jr. to come back?
Probably not.
But yeah, Professor X, you got Doctor Strange. I mean, are they going to have Cumberbund come? Maybe. I
Well,
mean,
he's still
they're
active,
paying-
so
they're paying some of these other guys, you know, Anthony Mackie, and they're paying Sebastian Stan, and they're, what's his name, Hiddleston. They're paying all them. So, in
Maybe.
Olsen, so maybe they will.
yeah.
But then you're going to have the FF and Namor in there already. They already have Black Bolt from their Abysmal Inhumans thing.
Which I think they're ignoring.
You know, Keith's a video
Well, they can't
professional when
They can't ignore
you get
them.
to see all the things that are recommended to him.
Oh yeah, the pop-up ads are all for.
They have you pegged, man.
But it says no pop-up ads, and there they were, right at the bottom of the page.
And there they were.
So, yeah, that's what is this? Star Wars writer accuses Ryan Johnson's of choices harmful. Again, bloggers that think they're
Editing.
Good God, right? I mean, come on.
Did you see that Tom King apologized?
Oh,
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Jason. I was
Yeah.
going to
We
save
were
it,
just
but
gonna talk
let's
about
get into it right now. Let's get into it right friggin' now.
But he said it was a misunderstanding.
Yes, well, he's full of shit because
well,
guess what happened today? Jay Lee responds.
Really?
Yes. So
Oh,
basically
nice.
what happened is, so we know what Tom did, right? This dick move where he went whining to DC and basically wanted them to cancel Jay Lee, costing him a job because Jay Lee worked with Ethan Van Sciver on Cyberfrog. He did these covers for Ethan. Just, hey, paid gig. They're old friends, maybe, right? So
great
Ethan
looking
came to
cover.
defense. Yeah, isn't it? I mean, Jay Lee's a phenomenal artist. His stuff is just gorgeous. So that day, Ethan came to his defense and wrote to Tom King, "This is a shameful thing you're doing. History will judge you for it. We aren't a hate group. We are opposed to SJWs destroying this business with cancel culture while using marginalized people as shields. You can't win because you're wrong and we're right." Haha, what a dork, Tom. Go F yourself with this hate group shit while you destroy a working artist who's been making people happy for decades while you've only made Batman a simp.
His run sucked. I'm sorry. I can go on and on about it, but you probably heard enough.
And then, Ethan just came right after Tom King. Cancel culture is wrong. It's immoral. Make no mistake. Tom King's afraid of social justice warriors canceling him, which is why he's pointing at Jay Lee and screeching. Comicsgate tolerates all of this with a smile. We are on the right side of history, and F you too. So here's what you were referring to, Jason, where he says, I spoke with Jay. He's not on Twitter, didn't know Comicsgate existed, and doesn't support hate of any kind. We're all good. Best possible outcome. Well, not so much.
Backpedal.
Yeah, backpedal.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we'll walk it back. Like, right there, I just got mad when I saw this walk back because I spoke with Jay after I tried to destroy his career. Then I
Right.
called him up, not call him up first and say, hey, man, I don't really like your politics. And, no, just go to DC, complain. He might have complained to other companies, too, because if you read So J League comes up on Instagram. He is on Instagram. And he began his post by writing this. 2 weeks ago, June and I took Loki, his dog, Loki, to San Diego to see a specialist. He did not survive due to complications from surgery. This past Friday was supposed to be a day of mourning. We were back in San Diego to pick up his ashes. We're going to take him to the beach and comfort each other, sharing our favorite stories about our little boy. Instead, a part of the internet I avoid like the plague came barging in. I had companies I'm working for calling me, friends reaching out to me. I'm seeing hate pouring out of strangers' mouths, accusing me of things I have no knowledge of. I'm seeing firsthand how fast lies are spreading. Let me be clear, I'm not part of any group. We never made it to the beach. We spent the entire 6-hour drive back home on an emotional roller coaster. I'm writing this because I'm angry. These irresponsible tweets are not harmless. They do not just go away. They have real world consequences. They can take away your job, your life, your memories. June and I were robbed of a special day. So no, we're not all good. So
Wow.
Tom King, this isn't the start of he's still going. This isn't the start of a conversation. This is the end. So please don't drag me into a world I never wanted to be part of, nor will I ever want to be part of. I want to honor Loki by going back to producing art made with love for people who enjoy it for what it is, something that hopefully brings joy into their lives. Mommy and Daddy miss you very much, Loki, our love. So the virtuous Tom King just did a number on an innocent guy.
I'll never buy a comic book that he wrote.
I think Tom King's done in comics.
Yeah. And I would I'm not buying anything if he ever writes anything.
Yeah.
It sounds like he heard something about what was happening with Jay and tried to backtrack just so he wouldn't get a backlash.
Right.
Like we're giving him now.
Right. Exactly. Too late. I mean, you don't do this to people. And this is what they do. This is what the cancel culture does.
Yeah, but he's not part of that. I mean, how old?
Well,
first of all,
he's not a millennium. He's a guy probably in his 30s, 40s.
Well, he's clearly afraid of getting canceled himself, so they gatekeep,
Well, his Batman run was shit. I'll say it a 50th time. I'm sorry. He's total shit. My brother actually came over to my house to read the floppies because he doesn't buy. I don't think he buys floppies anymore, and I don't even think you enjoyed it. It was unforgettable. Well, you don't, right?
Unforgettable or forgettable?
I'm sorry, forgettable. That's what I meant.
I just think this is despicable what he did.
Unforgettable.
And he's not the only one. This is what's going on, and this whole Comicsgate thing. It's not even a real group. It's a list of people that the SJWs have targeted, and they're calling it Comicsgate because the people in Comicsgate just want to stay neutral. They don't want to put politics into their stories. They just want to tell stories. But if you don't pick a side, you're out.
But what does this say for all the up and coming kids? Or
what it says is are going
to go into comic books, and does that mean that they're going to have to adhere to some bullshit thing that we have to be careful what kind of story we write here?
It says screw the publishers, go on Indiegogo and print your own comic books.
If they're smart, yeah. If they want to do their own work, if they just want to join the group, then they're going to have to change their work to fit their.
If you look at the money that Ethan Van Sciver's making off his own Cyberfrog comics through Indiegogo, he's doubling, tripling what he would make at the big two. And same with Cecil. The Dynamite, they canceled his cover. So he went to two other, I forgot who he went to, but he just redid it with 2 other characters from somebody else. And he made thousands of dollars within an hour again.
So they don't need to abide by the comic code because they're selling it backdoor pretty much. They're not. They don't have it on a newsstand. They don't have it on a comic book shelf.
You just go do your own thing. Hell with these.
They're still using the comic code?
No.
Yeah. Yes, they are, aren't they?
No, they're not. No, they're not using the comics code. But these people who do this thing kind of act like the new comics code.
I thought the comics code was still in effect. They just didn't push it as much. Like you didn't see the little.
No, it's been gone for a long time. Then you have this happen at the same time. We got let me get this.
But what that proved, what you just showed just now, is that they don't have to go by. They don't have to give in. They could just go independently. And guess who's buying their stuff? It's the money. The money is where it talks there.
Exactly. And that's what I think these people are upset about, because these independent creators are making more money and selling more books than they are at publishers.
Mm.
People are sick of this crap. You know, the thing is, the culture on Twitter is just not the real world. And I think Tom King got totally co-opted into that creepy Twitter world. It doesn't reflect what people are really like. The majority of the people are right in the center.
H.G. Wells actually said moral indignancy is simply jealousy with a halo.
There you go.
So yeah, they probably are jealous of the fact that indie creators are making a lot more money at this than the big guys.
And Ambrose Bierce said, what do you say? A conservative is someone who wants to destroy all evils, and a liberal wants to destroy all evils with all new evils.
Yeah.
So, and then, you know, here we go. Warren Ellis just got canceled by DC because apparently women who had consensual sex with him in the past have suddenly said that he made them do it. So people not taking responsibility for their own actions as adults. So, you know what? Warren will go do the same thing. He'll go put up a Kickstarter. He'll make his own book, and hell with him, right?
Based on his past works, it'll sell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's had a lot of good stuff come through Avatar. He's published through them.
Right.
He'll always find a home. He's very
He can
talented.
do it himself. He puts up at Indiegogo. He'll make all the money he needs. It's
Yeah.
you know, there was rumors that there was this whisper network inside the comics industry of people that were compiling a list of folks they were targeting. And I forgot which YouTube channel has someone on the inside. They put a plant in there, and it's all true. There's a spreadsheet and everything. Yeah, they sent in a mole, and yeah.
I'm not surprised. I mean, everything that's happening.
You know, this is the time when they should be banding together to save their industry, and instead they're eating each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really.
We could be
The witch hunt.
we
Total witch hunt.
could be seeing a change to where all these independent publishers start folding, and you're going to have a lot more just independent writers and artists like with Ethan, as you said, and that's where the comic industry might move to.
If anybody wants to take this off my hands, I'm more than welcome.
Jude, you should do a YouTube video where you take each page and wipe your ass with it.
Oh,
Send it to Tom King. This is interesting.
I don't know how much this is worth online, but I would wipe my ass with it.
This is interesting because I think, you know, not that this site was created or anything, which, well, it's kind of that is interesting that someone finally had enough of this and made a job post site it's politically neutral, right? But I think you're going to see this starting to happen because Vice Media trashed this website. And they said, to Vice Media, please remove your statements linking us to white supremacists and calling us dumb and deserving of being trolled to death. Fail to do so, and you will have a nice defamation suit coming your way very soon. Trust us,
Nice.
It would be an absolute joy. I think you're going to start to see that happen to all these blog sites that call people haters and call them white supremacists because they won't, you know, check the boxes.
Yeah, but the thing
that'll stop it.
Excuse me. The thing is what's the difference between producing a comic book on on something like a violent KKK group or something, and saying, is that what you truly believe, or you're just writing a comic book based on that story? You know what I mean? So where does the lines get blurred between
probably in
this
today's
is what
culture,
you're like, or this is the story you want to write?
in today's culture, a book like that would probably be considered hate.
Right. But there's a lot of comic books that are out there that are like that. And I'm curious to know. I mean, I remember a comic book back in the day that my brother and I used to read. And I don't know if any of you guys read this. I don't even know who published it, but it was a comic book called Faust.
I remember that.
Remember that?
Faust.
Faust?
Faust. F-A-U-S-T.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And it was over the top. I don't even know. Like it was like a rated it would be rated X pretty much as a movie.
Oh, totally. It was a rated X comic, yeah.
But and Alan Moore's he's published some stuff that's debatable.
Some doozies, yeah.
But where do you blur the lines between telling a story through a comic or saying, well, because you did that, this is your beliefs? Because not everybody's going to write a comic.
It's a good point. It's a good point because remember J.M. Matias wrote the Craven saga, and what happened was he had Craven commit suicide at the end of that tale. Right. And then you had thousands upon thousands of angry mothers say that Marvel was promoting suicide. Mm-hmm. And he said, no, that's not the point. The point is I'm trying to tell a story here. So that's a good point. Those lines are blurring now. You can't tell adult-themed stories without repercussions from
your creators now become
because of the internet.
Yeah, they're just afraid to tell a story they want to tell.
Right.
Exactly.
And because in the story that you have to tell isn't always reflective of your personality, it's just the way the world is. You're telling a story based on how human beings can be, whether or not it's violent or it's horrid or something terrible's happened. You're just doing it anyway because you're like, this is humanity. You can't dumb it down for
art
people.
Is a reflection of humanity. Yeah,
that's
art
right.
is a reflection of humanity. And
well, you're talking about people,
creators have to be honest with themselves.
You're talking about a group of people who want to rewrite history just because it doesn't suit their narrative.
Here's the Fleabag.
There he is, the one who almost got Denny O'Neil.
See how big he is?
He was just a kitten back then, wasn't he?
Yeah. He's like 15 pounds.
While we're on cancel culture, Gone with the Wind was one of the targets, and we lost Olivia de Havilland today. 104 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. That's getting your money's worth right there, gang.
Yeah, no kidding.
Isn't that crazy? 104. Yeah. It's nuts.
George
Gotta
Burns.
see if we can find her secret.
How old did George Burns live?
Bottle it.
100.
Rumor has it he lived to 100.
101 or something like that. Yeah.
George Burns.
Wow.
No, he said he was going to do a show on his 100th birthday, and he died not long after that date came and went. But I personally think that was more of a publicity story. I think he actually died before that. Just like Charles Schultz died on the same day that the last Peanuts sketch or strip was published. It sounds like a good story. I think he passed away before that.
Gotcha.
But that's just me and my conspiracy theories.
So has anybody heard about this thing?
No.
For All Mankind? I didn't either, and I just saw this as a TV breaking news, and I guess it takes place in 1983, and what caught my eye was this right here. It's on Apple Plus.
Oh, hello.
Ronald D. Moore.
Wow.
Yeah.
He does some good stuff.
An alt history drama set in a world where the USSR beat the US to the moon. It's been picked up for a second season in October. And seen its production halted by the coronavirus, but Moore, joined by his EP colleagues as well as cast members Joel Kinnaman, Michael Dorman, did a sneak peek of unseen footage of the upcoming season. So interesting. That's two things now that might make me actually pay for Apple Plus.
I thought that was a scene. I thought that was a picture from the movie Moonraker.
The right stuff. You were Moonraker, man. So while we're talking about Ronald D. Moore, I don't know if you guys saw this morning, but I gotta share this. Did you see this from Midnight's Edge?
Oh God, yes.
Remember those? I think what were those Bud Light commercials when they're here's to you, so and so guy. Remember those?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember.
Well, they did a brilliant spoof. Did you see this, Edson?
I haven't seen this one yet.
All right, I'm gonna put the audio up and play this. This is really funny. This goes out to Midnight's Edge. This is brilliant. Please don't. I'm sure they'll be happy we played it. So
Yeah, let's not fly yet.
yeah, I don't think they will.
If you don't watch Midnight's Edge, you should.
Yeah, these guys are great. Tom, Rob, and Andre.
Midnight's Edge presents Real Boneheads of Cinema. Real Boneheads of Cinema. Today we salute you, Alex Kurtzman. You cultural fucking locust. You've taken a beloved 50-year-old science fiction franchise and completely destroyed it. Oh, it didn't live long and prosper. Likeable characters? Who needs them? We've got Mighty Spock. She's just a plank of wood. Pour a cold beer and celebrate a special kind of stupidity that ruins Star Trek forever. Oh,
This is awesome.
how does sonar and space work? I know, as long as it sounds good, who cares? This idiot, there's no sound in space. That $25 million CBS contract sure is getting its money's worth, isn't it? Oh, how do you let me go? We salute you, Alex Kurtzman, because failing upward is still a thing in Hollywood. Sheer fucking hubris from a real bonehead.
Wow. That was awesome.
Wow.
Tell us how you really think. How you really feel.
Wow.
I didn't
Tell us what
realize
you really think.
they have a thing called like a sonar, space sonar. Like he's right. There's no sound in space. How does that work? See, just yesterday I was complaining that these new Star Treks ignore science. Like there's no science plausibility. There you go. Yeah, that was brilliant. I listened to that like 5 times already. It's so funny. It's so funny. Yep.
That cartoon. Let's talk about that fucking cartoon trailer. Holy shit.
The
That
trailer or that scene, the sample scene?
Scene, whatever. It was abysmal.
Oh my god.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
so bad. It was.
Yeah, there's a sample scene going around from Lower Decks.
It was. I don't know
You
if
can
we
look for
play
it
it.
on
We might-
YouTube.
We might get flagged for it, but
Yeah.
it reminded me of
We
like
don't use the audio, I think.
like amateur
Yeah, I wouldn't bother
amateur
with it.
cartoon skit. It was just terrible.
You know, the
And the characters aren't even likable. Like
no,
the
they're just
whole
talking
captain.
fast and yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. All right, let me pause it here for a second. So the ship. So what you can't see from this view, though, is that the engineering section is between those nacelles. So how did the people get back to the saucer section? Because they can't go through those 2 pylons because they'd have to go through the nacelles.
So they have to take a shuttle outside every time.
Or beam, yeah.
Oh, right. There you go.
Yeah, they don't. There it is. There's a good view. So you see here's the engineering section, right? So there's no way up here. If you go through here, you have to go into the nacelle to go back up through the pylon to get up here. So the devil's in the details, and they didn't do their homework. They just drew something that looked cool, I guess. I mean, it looks okay.
No, it looks cool. I mean,
It looks cool, but it
the-
doesn't make sense.
The ship looks cool, and that looks cool, but the cartoon itself looks terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. And the captain is the guy who's trying to play captain is extremely unlikable. He's just a typical.
She's the captain.
Oh, she is.
That's
Yeah.
the first officer.
Captain.
She's the captain. She's
Yeah.
in the center chair.
Because that scene showed that he was trying to do a captain's log and stuff, and she was making.
Well, this is the command crew. These idiots are the lower decks employees. These are like the low rung employees.
Oh, okay.
And he wants to be a captain. He's an ensign, and so is Jay.
I only saw
Yeah.
that one scene. I didn't see the whole thing.
Yeah, but when I was
I
watching
turned it off.
when I was watching the panel,
Oh,
they had
Romulan whiskey.
they had
Yeah.
the actress playing the captain saying something like, "Yeah, my character is the captain, and no one really listens to what I say, so things just go out." I mean, I was like, "What?" I don't get that.
But
Yeah.
he played a gigantic dork, and all they did was rip on him. And I was just like, it's not even likable. I don't like the character. The first 2 seconds I listened to it, I was like, this is unlike.
Yeah.
Just
This whole scene between these 2 characters where they're just
she makes fun
he's
of him.
talking really fast and he's going like
Yeah.
it's just, there's no jokes there. It's not funny.
No, she's just ripping on him. You're stupid. Really? Like that humor only lasts so long. What is that? Playground stuff? You know when you're.
Yeah, well, let's see. This was 1:40, and that was too much. This is.
I got as far as that. I when they were
This is
talking.
just hot garbage, man. It really is. Because if you think about Star Trek, you had to be the best of the best to get assigned to a Federation starship. How
Exactly.
could you be this freaking stupid and inept?
Even to get into Starfleet Academy, where Wesley failed the first time.
Right. You had to have something going on. Just not everybody can go.
Well, I think they're appealing it to kids. Obviously, it's on Nickelodeon. So
No, this is not Nickelodeon. This is
this is
Oh, really?
This-
I thought it was airing
yeah.
Prodigy's on Nickelodeon.
Prodigy's the kids show.
Oh, I thought this one was going on.
No.
Yeah, no, this is on CBS All Access. This is aimed for regular Star Trek fans.
This is not going to last then. This will not last. It will be dead in the water.
Well, they don't have an international distributor for it, which is really telling.
Yeah, I think it's set on arrival.
Netflix and Amazon have first right of refusal for any new Star Trek projects, and they both passed.
Yep.
On this, they passed on Strange New Worlds. They passed on a whole bunch of other things. So they're having problems getting international distributors for it. So yeah, this might not last because of they might not have enough budget. CBS paying for this themselves.
Is it really this hard to find good writers and good just content writers?
Yeah,
that do what they're told. Maybe
we're all here in a room. We could probably do a better job.
Yeah, I mean,
hire any one of us.
This is just. I was hopeful for this too. Yeah, it's like some cat alien. Yeah, it's the doctor, I guess, because it's wearing the blue. It's the medical officer. Yeah,
the lab
token
coach.
alien.
And you got the Bajoran security person or ops person back there.
Security.
Yeah.
The Worf character.
Yeah. Looks like he has a fake eye or something. He's got like one gray eye. And
That's Riker.
Oh yeah, he's got a big scar across his face, so it looks like he's only got one eye.
Oh, maybe that's
he's a Cyclops, as it were.
Right. Yeah, and this guy's supposed to be like the Tom Paris, Will Riker kind of character.
You can tell by the beard.
The shadowy beard. Yeah.
Yeah.
The stubble growth. And you got this guy. I don't know if this guy's gonna even be a character or her. I think they're just generic. She's a Trill. She's got the dots. I don't know.
All is lost.
Looks like.
It's not the search for Spock anymore. It's just the search for a plot and a good story.
As a matter of fact, they specifically said in introducing the Prodigy show that, quote, we had to make a show that was appealing to kids. So they know this one is not it. It was supposed to be the other one. But my complaint is when I was a kid, I was watching Star Trek. It's always been appealing to kids.
I agree with you.
My brother and I, we used to watch it every Sunday night with my dad.
This is another great video they made yesterday from Night's Edge. Did you see this one, Pete?
Yep.
Where Andre did these. He didn't want to get flagged by CBS, so he did all these drawings from Not a Kid.
Oh.
This is Alex Kurtzman. These are awesome, man. These are so good. Oh man, I'm hung up here.
That's fucking great. That's awesome. They're killing it. They're killing it.
Oh, it was. And Andre's funny. He's from, where's he from? Norway or something, Pete?
Oh.
I think so, yeah.
There's Picard with his dog. Everyone says, by not some kid.
I'm sorry.
Let's see. Here's another. Strange New Worlds crew. Star Trek Strang there. Sure are a lot of white folk.
Oh. Oh.
And then he's got his Alex Kurtzman drawing. Alex Kurtzman's shitting in the bed. Alex shitting in the bed. Star Trek, Transformers, Star Universe, Spider-Man. This is this was my favorite because he does Lower Decks. Wasn't hard to draw.
Nice.
That's terrible.
Oh, these are just this. I was crying laughing watching this yesterday. Just too funny. Bravo, Andre. at Midnight's Edge. Bravo. That was just brilliant. Oh, here's one more. Wait, that's Picard. Wait. Oh, Akiva Goldsman, Alex Kurtzman. Is that Michelle Paradise? Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
These are great, dude.
This is better than showing clips. These
I put these on my fridge.
are awesome. He drew them with a crayon and everything. Just so perfect. Oh man. Yeah, Midnight's Edge. Check them out. That was really funny.
That's fucking hilarious.
Actually, you know what? While we're here, since we're winding down this Comic-Con thing,
we haven't really even talked about it. We haven't even started, really.
there's been no
There
news
hasn't really
today.
been much of Comic-Con, which is kind of the point.
The news that you had at the beginning, Jude, that it was disappointing is the news for the day, or that
That story came out about 4 hours ago. So if there's an updated story, please show it. If you have something.
Have you guys seen this one yet? Hang on.
I just didn't like the fact that the panels were pre-recorded. That really bothered me. I just really did.
Have you seen Politically Correct Transformers?
No. Can we play the audio?
Yeah.
Play the audio.
No,
From Useful Vidster. Let's this is really funny. This is another one.
RC, Megatron's getting away.
Don't worry, Optimus. I'll stop him.
Oh, what the fuck, Megatron? You can't hit a girl.
Why not? She was shooting me.
That wasn't a very feminist thing to do, Megatron.
It's 2016, Megatron. Don't you read the internet? Decepticons, retreat! I'm very frustrated and confused. Oh my! How am I getting so blind? Gentlemen, I've been doing a great deal of research, and I've decided the Decepticons need to become more politically correct. Megatrans. I've also decided that you're all problematic. You're problematic, you're problematic, and you're really problematic. Goodbye, boys.
Wow, that's a cracking pair of tits, Megatron.
Starscream, you've objectified me for the last time.
Now, please, spare me, Lord Megatron. I can be PC too.
Megatron was my slave name. I am Offendertron, leader of the Offendicons.
The wig on the.
Prime, come out and face me, unless you're afraid to be beaten by a woman. Those leathering breasts aren't fooling anyone, Megatron. I'm still gonna shoot you. You should check your privilege, Prime, before one of my new warriors checks it for you. Behold, Curvebot.
I'm sexy.
And Blackbot.
Yeah, I'm just a black guy. I don't really want to beat you.
Yes, you do. You're a minority. Start acting like it.
Jesus Christ, bro!
Oh no, that's terrible. That's terrible.
Oh no!
We're starting, right? We're starting.
Oh no!
All right, over the top.
Bullshit! I could have stayed home today. I don't want to be on the wrong side of history here.
Jeez.
Grimlock don't want to be a bad person. Oh, what? Everyone wants to be a Decepticon now? Come on, guys. It's just Megatron with tits.
Wow. Really, Optimus? Okay.
No, that's not what I meant. He said, "Call him, break his legs!"
Yeah, serve his face. That's hot.
At last, we are free from oppression.
Great job using your girthy ass to crush Brad's head, Kerbot.
Fuck you, Offendatron, you skinny whore. I'm sexy.
Don't slut shame me. It was a compliment.
Hey, you.
Too much infighting. Grimlock can't even. Grimlock literally can't even. My lunch was movie. Offendacons, retreat. Transstream.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Oh my, that is hot.
I'm sexy.
Wow.
Oh, Lord. Wow.
I don't know what to say.
Hardcore.
Yeah, right, man.
How
So
many?
that
How many people did they offend in that?
let's see. That came out 4 years ago. I just saw it the other night on
Oh, okay.
sites. Yeah, they were 35,000 views on this one. I mean, I'm sure it's mirrored all over the place. You got 954 thumbs up, 72 thumbs down.
Well, you know who they are.
Oh God, that was really funny. Somebody just tweeted, or somebody put a comment under it. Who else is here because of Friday Night Tights? Yeah, it was made in 2016, and everyone just found it the other night because it's freaking hilarious. I could not stop laughing.
I was crying.
Yeah, it was really well done. Even the voices were pretty good, All right,
They should do G.I. Joe now.
I know, right?
God.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry guys, family's calling. I gotta
All
get
right.
going.
All right. Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for stopping in.
I loved it.
We'll do it
A lot
again.
of fun.
Alan isn't home yet.
Oh, that.
No, he said he's going somewhere else, so he's not going to be.
So, not much else about Comic-Con that can be said, because
Yeah.
Comic-Con was a snooze fest.
I'm curious to know what they learned
Uh-oh.
from this year.
Uh-oh. Breaking news.
What?
Breaking freaking news. Daredevil actor accuses Marvel TV's Jeff Loeb of purposely minimizing Asian characters.
Which actor?
Are we in a Twilight Zone episode?
Peter Shinkoda.
I want to know if there were in a
Peter
Twilight.
Shinkoda, who played hand leader Nobu on Daredevil's first 2 seasons, said that much of his character's story and development was sidelined because then Marvel TV head Jeff Loeb thought nobody cares about Chinese people and Asian people. Are you kidding me? Read one of the books, idiot. It's not about the hand. Jesus Christ. What the fuck with these people? Ugh.
It never ends.
And it's funny, the Ray Fisher thing, Pete. If you read that article today about the Snyder Cut, he said that the Justice League is all about Cyborg. So, connecting dots, Joss Whedon made it not about Cyborg.
There you go.
And he's all upset. Yeah, there you go. Whiny actor. Go figure, a whiny actor. Yeah.
Oh boy.
So this is the news closing out Comic-Con. Yet another cancel culture. Jesus Christ. You're right. What are we living in? The fucking Twilight Zone, man. It's just, I do like that it said he's not going to use an ounce of Joss Whedon footage. He goes,
Yep,
I
not
want
using
that
a frame.
up before using shots from another director. Yeah. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I
it'll be
watched
kinda
the interview
cool.
with Grace Randolph, and he says he has like 3 hours plus of material to drop.
Yeah, right now the cut's at 214 minutes, I think I read.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Right,
Yeah.
go back to the Michael Keaton thing.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Was that in there? Let's see. La la la. Oh, possible cameos.
That must be photoshopped.
Michelle Pfeiffer,
She played the best
Marlon Wayans, Robin,
Batgirl or Batwoman.
Vicky Vale.
Catwoman.
Yeah, well, you know what? Anybody can pick like 18
Catwoman.
characters that appeared in Batman and say
Well,
they
you're-
might come back.
You're a cat guy, but
Yeah, well, this wasn't too hard to do.
beyond.
Oh, Joker and Harley, please no.
Yeah.
Christopher Reeve. What do they say for that? A CG Christopher Reeve. No. Just stop.
No.
Well, they did it with Carrie Fisher.
Jonah Hex.
Badly.
Yeah, but doing the Superman, Christopher Reeve, bridge too far.
I agree.
Is Alan listening in? He just texted me.
Is he?
Yeah.
So, Family Guy spoofs X-Men Days of Future Past in new footage.
Alan wants to know if you want a headset. He just sent me a text message.
Who, me?
Yeah, check your messages.
What do I need a headset for?
I don't know. You already have. Well, you didn't get one.
No, I didn't buy one. Nah.
Instead of him at Walmart, he should be on here.
Yeah.
I'm calling you out. He was on yesterday, though. He was on yesterday.
Oh, you know what? I wanted to check real quick.
So brother, you missed the drama. They played a clip from Morty and what's that clip?
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty, which I'm not a big fan of the show.
Oh
but-
yeah. Speaking of which, Rick and Morty, the actress got stabbed.
Oh my God, Kelsey Grammer's daughter, right?
Yeah, played Summer. Yeah, there was some attack in a restaurant, and she got stabbed.
Let me see if I can find it here.
So they got flagged yesterday for playing an audio clip.
Yeah, we did. They knocked our stream down.
They shut the stream down.
They shut our stream down.
Isn't that crazy?
So for the archive too, I edited both into one thing and put it on YouTube, and that got flagged. So I had to actually snip it out. Where is it? I thought I saw it.
It's the way of the world now, people.
Spencer
Spencer
Grammer, who plays Summer.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Stabbed in a.
Boom, 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 boom. Here it is. Yeah, in New York City.
Who would stab
She was
her?
dining outside the Black Ant in New York City's East Village when an intoxicated man reportedly showed up to their location and demanded to be served. It was when the actress and her friend attempted to de-escalate the situation that Grammer says they were attacked. My friend and I did, and what anyone else would do in the same situation. Several others, predominantly women, were also attempting to prevent altercation from escalating. I sustained a laceration on my arm. My friend was stabbed in the back.
Ooh.
Wow. Is that her voice in that scene we watched yesterday that we got flagged for, Pete?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, she plays the older sister.
Okay. I've only watched season 1. I haven't caught up yet on the rest.
I watched.
It's gonna get weird.
I watched the show and I just cannot get into it.
What do you mean gonna get? It's already weird.
I feel like it's I just it kind of felt like watching a Pokemon cartoon for the first time. It's just it was all over the place.
It's definitely
It's very like get up it's like,
how,
okay, I'm done.
Which is how Lower Decks the dialogue's the same way. It's very choppy.
It's just
right
everything's like
right.
and you're just like oh overload. I'm gonna go into a seizure. I can't do this.
So these are new from Iron Studios.
Nice.
Did you buy that Blu-ray set?
I did, and I'm waiting for it.
Nice.
But everything's coming in late these days. So.
You're gonna have Surfing Batman, right?
I'm gonna watch the whole.
Look, he's got the shark repellent. Look at that,
brother. I bought the whole complete season of the Batman 70s show or
60s. Oh, the complete series.
Yeah. I was thinking about getting them, but I don't know if I could sit through more than like 10 of them before I'm like, okay, I get it.
They're fun.
You know,
they're fun. They're fun, but It's like
By the way, the Flintstones Blu-ray set was priced up.
It's like reading Mad Magazine for Batman.
So Flintstones will be released at $85 to start. So wait a while, it'll be $50.
Oh yeah, the Batman from 1966.
It's funny because that Batman show was many people's first introduction to Batman.
It was definitely
out. It was mine.
I thought it was in the 70s because we were watching the reruns every morning on Saturdays.
It was my first introduction to Batman.
And then I went back and started reading the comics. And I was like, yeah, mine too. Then you start reading the comics and like, wait a second, there's a big disconnect here.
Yeah.
The comic books are very dark.
I didn't realize the whole show was in the 60s. I thought they crossed over to the 70s because it had that.
It was in syndication in the 70s for a long time.
Yeah, my brother and I religiously watched it every Saturday.
Yeah, but we were.
No, it was in syndication.
Dude, he's asking if you want it for Jason.
What?
Alan, he's asking if you want the headset for Jason.
Oh yeah, Jay, we're trying to actually get you a headset.
It's $10.
Yeah, but I'm in San Diego. You'd have to ship it to me.
Oh, we lost Keith.
Keith always does that.
Keith disappeared.
So I think the idea is that these headsets Keith and I were talking about them. This is a Turtle Beach one. They're for gaming, but the gaming headsets are actually cheaper than the ones that are designed to work with your computer. If there's no PS4 or Xbox or Nintendo Switch name to it, usually they're marked up. But for some odd reason, the better headsets that are cheaper for the gaming systems will still work for your laptop or PC.
$350 for the.
How much is the one that you have on your head right now?
This one, it's funny. I got this one. This is a Turtle Beach. I got this one for the PS3, and it's USB. But for some odd reason, Turtle Beach now discontinued anything that's USB wired. They want you to buy there's like it kind of looks like this. It's like a little USB dongle, and all the headsets that are USB are Bluetooth. So the only ones you can get now are the mini jack, which are okay, but the USB ones are nice to have because
it's just weird because they're going from digital audio back to analog audio by doing that. But
yeah, so this is like the last of the wired USB for a reasonable price. You can get these on eBay. This is the PLAs, but they want like $60-$70. And you have somebody's grody ear sweat in them.
Yeah.
But they're nice because, you can move your head around. In fact, we were talking about doing our podcast this way instead of having the microphones because, we're constantly, if you're looking at stuff, it's nice to be able to have the flexibility of turning your head and just, conversating. And we do practice social distancing in our podcasts. We do sit 6 feet or more apart.
Like 15.
So we are practicing social distancing. And Angelo, who's on our podcast, does wear a mask. That's why he sounds a little bit muffled. If anybody on the show is curious or listens to our show is curious.
You'll see in the photos that we put on Insta in the next.
He kind of looks like a bandit, like an outlaw. He wears this
He does. He looks like Jesse James. Well, I've just gone through everything. We saw some toys, but that's...
Toys is
Comic-Con's going out with a whisper.
That's right. And
Came in with a whisper and it's going out that way.
I think it was just basically a way to sell more merchandise than it was to actually inform us of what's going on in pop culture news and comic books and movies.
Yeah, we just had more fighting than anything else, right?
Yeah,
well,
it was a big bust.
Yeah, but it's kind of funny. I'm curious to know because there's going to be a post-mortem on this. People who are running this are going to do a post-mortem, and whoever's in charge is going to be like, "What the fuck, guys? We need to do this better." So hopefully that corresponds to a New York Comic-Con, and we'll handle this a lot differently.
Yeah, I mean, let me go back to their YouTube site and we'll look at these numbers real quick before we go. It's for they have 140,000 subscribers, and you look at some of these views. 124, 121, 58. Even if you go down, let's get into, let's go here. Am I sharing this? Yeah.
Yep, I see.
Yeah, we can see it.
Let's go back to like the earlier ones, like earlier in the week here. 1 day ago, 2 days ago, 967, 2000.
Oh yeah.
401, 2.1 thousand, 23,000. Like the Bob's Burgers had 23,000, far and away. The Kirkman only got 5,000. Like you have 140,000 subscribers. Never mind just drop in traffic. And these are the hits you're getting. 298, 332. It's Hulu's Hellstrom got 18,000. They should be higher than this.
It goes to show that you need to cater to the audience as opposed to putting together what you think your own agenda is and saying, oh, it's going to work. And that's the biggest problem here. I think they should have said, how would the viewers like to see this? And I think the strongest selling point is live and being part of a chat room while it is live and fielding questions. And they didn't do any of that. They did none of that.
Well, especially, you look at like the Star Trek panel was so controlled, and they're not showing any of the numbers, the actual numbers for subscribers to CBS All Access or anything. And it's they even disabled the comments and likes and dislikes again. They just don't want to hear it. Yeah, I don't know. This is here 4 days ago. We're in beginning of the Comic-Con. Sewing a mask, 2,000 views. That's a panel, sewing a mask.
Which you could probably go on
Comics in the Classroom, 13.
Probably can go on YouTube and find that, from how many cosplayers.
Watchmen and the Cruelty of Masks, 9,000. Like you would expect a lot more if you've got a subscriber base of, almost 150. Here's the Star Trek one, 61,000. That was one of their marquee panels. I'm trying to find, where was the Denny?
Think about everybody's home too. Everybody's home,
right?
So you have an audience there, right?
Yeah, but the problem is you can obviously it's the attention span. I think most people log in for maybe a couple minutes and then they're just like, yeah, I'm bored. I want to go do something else.
Well, like you said, Jude, nobody wants to be kind of like talked to, like, you know what I mean? When you're there at the con and they're sitting at a folding table up on a stage, they're kind of at the mercy of the audience. Yeah, they bring talking points, but the panel goes in a direction based on audience response.
That's right. And sometimes it's the entertaining part about it is the awkwardness of the people asking the questions, and sometimes they get up there and they're so awkward and nervous, and then that plays on the actors or actresses or the producers. They kind of tease that a little bit,
right?
Oh, don't be nervous, ask your question, and then they get laughs, and sometimes you kind of want to see that interaction, and I don't want to eavesdrop on a Zoom call.
Right.
I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're somebody who's my favorite writer or favorite producer or artist. I want to be like, I want to feel like I'm part of that.
Yeah. And you'll see a panel do a left turn sometimes when it's landing with a thud. The audience there's dead air in the room, the body language is bad. They'll have to pivot, and just come up with something else because what they brought to the show is not working. Well, when you're doing it on Zoom,
right? And also, an audience challenges the people on that panel.
That's what I'm saying.
They'll say something, and that artist has to actually answer that question and say, "Wow, I never thought about that." Or sometimes they'll always say that key phrase, "Oh, that's a good question," and then you're onto something because you actually tapped into something that normally they don't know the answer for. Now they got to come up with it,
right?
And, I feel like a lot of these Zoom, the way they were edited too, it's as if someone might have said something and said, oh, I don't want that. I want that edited out.
Yeah, exactly.
And they edit. It's like, no, like it's off the cuff. This is the way it should be.
I think we found the big winner though.
Cons are warts and all, right? I mean, it's all about the interactivity. That's what cons are about. The fans interfacing with the with the talent.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
This New Mutants panel was the big winner. It looks like 196,000.
The
They should, all
trailer,
be,
Ding,
they
ding.
should all be up there, you know.
the trailer was probably the
was a
best
good
thing
one.
I saw out of the whole Comic-Con.
It
To
was
be
a good
honest,
panel.
you saw it? You listened to it?
Yeah.
You know, here's one that's sad. Bugs Bunny turns 80 and it gets 9,000 views.
I actually
Aw.
I actually was one of those viewers. I went on that.
I want to watch. There's a few that I'm going to go back and watch here, but like the Denny O'Neil one, I actually wanted to watch the
I missed the Denny O'Neil one.
this one, the Two Moros, John Cook's panel. I want to see that. I might watch the rest of Rob. We dropped in on Rob there that night a little bit, but yeah, I don't know.
I just didn't feel like they really gave much to anyone. It was just kind of kind of like you were looking through a window as opposed to having them. You felt like you were there.
You know, they've done this before, but they're usually streaming the panel that's at the con up at the table with the audience, so it has a whole different feel to it.
Well, they play it up too. When they get introduced, they come out. They're doing the whole selfie thing with the audience, and
that's what I'm saying.
They're doing some gimmick, and people get off on that.
Right. So even if you're stuck home, you still feel like you're kind of on the outside. You're in the back of the room or something because you're seeing the actual ballroom being streamed. This is just like you said. It's watching people on Zoom, and not only that, half of them got bad audio. You know, who wants to listen to bad audio?
Yeah, it feels very antiseptic and bland. You know.
Yeah.
You're right. You lose interest after about 20 minutes or so of watching some of these panels.
Yeah.
Well, I was doing dishes and working around the house with the panels running in the background, and I'll tell you, half the time I wasn't really listening. I would stop and do and maybe listen a little bit, but then I'd go back to doing something that I was doing around the house.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just background noise at that point, and then I was kind of like, oh, I guess I watched that, but half the time I was, you know, cleaning up the kitchen, doing dishes, you know, sweeping, and just doing what I need to do.
Here's another one that said, tribute to Denny O'Neil, 1.2 thousand views.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Well,
it deserves to be watched too. It was a really
I
very
definitely go back and watch. Yeah.
Mike Busey was on there.
So this is all the content here. This is the weekly content.
This is the whole. Yeah, if you go to their YouTube channel, Comic-Con International.
How long was the Denny O'Neil one, and who was
an hour?
An hour. Andy Fingeroth, Mike Uslan, Paul Levitz, Joe Duffy, a lot of great editors at both Marvel and DC. Some of the names I've forgotten. Oh, Mike Gold from DC. And they all had, you know, very great stories to tell about Denny. All personal experiences that they had that were very enlightening.
Yeah, like Larry Hamill.
Yeah, it was very well done.
All 11.
They touched upon his addiction too, because he was an alcoholic.
Oh yeah, he told us how he died. He literally died. And they had to bring him
kidding.
Back. Yeah,
really?
Yeah, he told us really scary story about that. Yeah. Yeah, and you know, I wasn't going to say that earlier, but since you brought they talked about it here.
They talked about it. Yeah, they talked about it.
Yeah,
and I mean, he did reference it a lot. He wasn't afraid to talk about it. He put a lot of it into his stories. When he wrote Iron Man, he brought on a lot of his addiction experiences in Iron Man.
I thought that was more Leighton than it was.
No, he wrote Iron Man after Leighton. No. Brother, he wrote Iron Man for a good patch of the early 80s when James Rhodes took over the armor for a while.
Right, because Tony was incapacitated. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Very good run. Recommended.
Well, I think this one's in the books. Let me just, before we sign off, I'm going to check something here.
Leighton did the Demon in the Bottle, though.
Why don't we go around the horn and give San Diego Comic-Con a grade?
That's a crazy cover too. Demon in the Bottle. It's such a weird, strung out freaking Tony Stark on that cover.
I got it on my wall behind me here.
Do you?
Yeah, I got it from Bob. Let's see. Let's see. So let's give it a grade. Who wants to start?
The Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Here's the deal. I think because of COVID, they probably, as a collective of whoever's in charge of it, they probably did the best they could do. So I wouldn't give it a complete failure, but I'd give it maybe a C, because it's definitely something they can work on. Okay, if they do this again, especially for the New York Comic-Con.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you know, I've worked in this industry with a lot of, you know, streaming and doing productions, and usually you learn from the first time you do it, and then you get together and say, how can we do this better? So for me, yeah, it wasn't eventful, but at the same time, maybe it's a learning process for if this is something they're going to continue doing. So, you know, I mean, you can't blame. I don't know. I give it a C. I don't know if you agree with me, but
okay. Jason?
I'm going to go one grade lower. I'm going to give it a D. I think they had, you know, at least some time to prepare, and they should have. They needed that audience interactivity. You needed to make it live, at least to allow the fans to engage the talent. The creators.
I agree.
That's so
I
essential
agree.
to the con. Yeah, it's so essential to the con experience, and they really should have kept that intact. I think a lot of people just zoned out, to be honest with you, and you know, maybe it's a learning experience. You know, it's the first time they've had to do this in the past 50 years. So you just take what you learned and apply it to future cons. You need to make it more of an interactive type of presentation. So I give it, unfortunately, a D.
Pedro?
I'm going to split the difference and give it a C minus.
Wow, we got a visual and everything.
Yeah, C minus for you guys over at Comic-Con. And basically, yeah, you guys, Jude and Jason said it pretty much the best. It needs to be more interactive. It needs to be more interactive and more content like a regular con. I know that the studios probably were afraid of announcing things because they don't know when they're going to actually be out. But give us something other than these lousy panels that we saw nobody watched.
Yeah, those numbers are low.
Yeah, it's just it's background music basically. That's the perfect analogy I can give it. A lot of these panels were just background music, you know.
Yep. So I'm with you, Pete. C minus, for all the reasons that you guys have already said. I think if the people who run the online con experience, as we prepare for some more this year, should go look at the top YouTube channels that stream. Go look at Midnight's Edge. Go look at Doomcock. Go look at Gary from Nerdrotic. Look at what they do when they live stream, and you have to put that component, like what we're doing here with a live chat room. And when you watch them, you know, they've got thousands of people watching, 5,000 people watching, and the chat is just scrolling. And, that would mean you'd have to assign some sort of a moderator to sift through all that stuff and pick out a question here or there. But you need to make it more interactive. You need to do that. Yeah, nobody wants to sit there and watch canned interviews with celebrities who like to smell their own farts. I mean,
even during a live thing, you can always edit that in post. So if you want people to watch it later on, you can clean it up.
Yeah,
but do a live show. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
You can summarize things.
Yeah. So, and again, they'll, hopefully after this year, they'll never have to do this again. They can go back to doing what they used to do and just say, we're going to live stream the Archer panel from Hall H, and you get what you get. So
I'm curious to know if they're going to do the smaller panels online and then do everything, the bigger panels.
Well, New York was already doing that. They asked us to go. Remember, we were on a panel. It was just a streaming panel. I mean, we did have a small audience there in the hall. There was probably 50 people sitting there watching.
Yeah.
But it was primarily for the internet.
Right. They had three
cameras. We were invited to do a streaming panel. When they sent us the invite, they said, we want you to do a streaming panel. So, but it was still, again, we were live in the venue in front of an audience with a multicam switch.
Right. And we weren't in any hall. We were literally on a stage.
We were literally in the stage in the middle of the exhibit hall. Right. But that's the way it'll go back to. They'll go back to that. This canned Zoom thing just doesn't work. So I'm just looking through this. This is conventionscene.com.
Sure.
And they list all the Comic-Cons that are on the schedule. And actually, you'll see our buddy Mitch right here. Terrific Con canceled. I expect there'll be more of these along the way. I don't think we'll be seeing.
I think it also depends on your state, because I know I'm a G.I. Joe fan, and I follow some G.I. Joe forums, and there is a lot of, they're not really cons, but they're definitely holding events, and I think it's depending on the state. I know that sounds kind of.
Well, we're having the small cons are coming back next month here in Connecticut, like the little
smaller cons,
actual Comic-Cons, little tiny. But I'm just trying to find the next big thing that we might want to do this again for. And I'm thinking it's probably going to be the DC. No, I think that we should do the DC thing on the 22nd, the Fandom, which isn't even listed here, but
that's not a bad idea. We'll probably get a lot more content.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This thing on the 22nd. Yeah. There'll be a lot to talk about, particularly the Snyder Cut. So, he's going to drop a trailer that day. So what's our? So we got the podcast coming up next week, right? Mm-hmm.
So that is something our listeners can look forward to.
We have blasted them with content over the last week.
I know they're going to get tired of
5 live streams in a show. So yeah, but
we have some new faces here. My brother.
Yes.
So, hopefully we'll get more people on our rotating podcast of great talent.
Keep building it.
And we're all expertises in different areas of pop culture, so it's good to bring in the collective.
Yep. Any final thoughts from anybody else before we hit the red button to say goodbye?
What time is it in San Diego, brother?
4:45.
Yeah.
4:45. So it's still sunny and bright. I might even go out for a walk.
We have a little bit of light here, but
still sunny. Oh, you know what? I still have sprinklers running outside. I should go shut them off. It's probably a swamp now. So yeah, I got to eat something too, because my daughter's going to call in a little bit. So all right, gang.
It's enjoyable, guys. Right. Thanks again for the invite.
Yeah.
Anytime, my friend. Anytime.
I know it's going to be sad. We've been together for a whole 4 or 5 days. Yeah. I mean, exception of me last night just being in the chat room. I'm going to miss you guys.
Most fun I've had in months. A lot of fun.
It was. Did you get rid of the rats, Jason?
We did get rid of the rats. We purged the garage of rats.
Gee.
Yeah, one funny story. Yeah, before I leave, what happened is my landlord, I live in a townhouse, so he lives in the next house over. He stores his vintage cars in my garage. He's a Cuda. He's got a Trans Am. So he went to go start his Cuda yesterday, and he pulled the engine. He pulled the hood up, and the rats just started running out of the engine. They built a nest inside his Cuda. Yep.
Oh my God.
So he's freaking out. Yeah, and then he looks on the ground, and there's rat shit all over the garage, and he calls me, texts me, and he said, "You got to get down here."
That could segue into if anybody else wants to read along with my summer reading. We got a big rat in the cover there.
Oh, yeah.
So this is going to be my summer reading. So I'm kind of excited, and hopefully, you'll see a review from me in the future.
I've had my fill of rats, though. I don't want to look at another rat.
They didn't look like rats, though. When you took a picture of it, it kind of looked like a cute little mouse.
They were baby rats. They were
baby
tell by
rats.
the tail. Yeah, and they shit all over the place. So I was just, sweeping up rat shit, and he plugged all of the areas in the garage that, the grates, he plugged them all up with foam, and the foam hardened. So luckily, or hopefully I should say, we won't have any more rat problems, but it sucked.
It does. I had field nights in here in the spring. It was awful. So
yeah.
Rodents, they're highly destructive. All right.
All right.
All right, guys. Job well done. That was fun.
Thank you for the watches. Thank you for the eyeballs. Follow us at PizzaPopCulture.com.
Look at Pete. He's getting the hang of this. All right, guys. Hasta la vista.
Bye.
Over and out.
Bye bye.